Hello and welcome to day two here at US Quadball Cup. We are ready to start this matchup between Vermont United Quadball Club and Chaos Quadball Club. We have just a couple more seconds here as the referees get things ready. Over on the left in white, we have Vermont United. And in the pink uniforms on the right-hand side is Chaos. That's fun. That's Mason DeBuff, who is in the green headband for Vermont. In the green headband for Chaos, we'll have to take a moment here to check it out. Running up for the quad ball for Chaos. It looks like Chaos is gone for the quad ball, and over on the far side there, Vermont has gone for the dodgeball's control. This is Clay Dockery, and I'm happy to be with you here on this beautiful Sunday morning from Richmond, Virginia. The River City Sportsplex is a wonderful facility here, and we invite everyone to come out. Please check us out here today if you are in the area. Alex Amadal on the call for Ooms Down. You. And we have brooms up. Regular. It's like it might be Michael Morowick with shot and goal for Chaos. But we'll have to check on that to be sure, as the numbers are pretty hard to read on the Chaos side of the roster. That's a quick goal for Chaos here, and now Vermont is going to have to respond pretty quickly coming back the other direction. They set things up. Mason here at the top, trying to move around. Up top here, everybody is beat out. Tyler Beckman knocked back the other way, and that's a quick stop from Chaos. And it's a big move again in the middle, going around people over the top into the back corner, up over the top of the middle hoop, but it's cleaned up very nicely from Chaos. That was Swathi Manam, head coach of this team, who cleaned that up really nicely and kept this drive alive for them. That was a turnover there, as that beat was before the pass. So that ball is going to go back to Vermont and be Vermont's stop and Vermont's possession of the quad ball. Good beat there. Nice quick call by the assistant referees. Rachel Manhart has the quad ball here on the near side. Taking a moment to get the hoops set back up. In the meantime, we have a stoppage of play, and now everything is clear. Gets the balls back in the quad ball back into the middle here. Mason DeBuff over to the far side. Tyler Beckman. Tyler doesn't see an opening, just resets it not over the line, but back to the top. Here on the near side, Manhart trying to get around this nice set from the Chaos team. Chaos playing stout defense here. Number 27 here at the top of the key. Clears it out. The defense by the Beaters makes that happen. And Cole Collins passes it over here to the near side. And, oh, they slow it down again. Murwick gets around the outside and is beat out quickly there. Very nice. And that's another nice cleanup by this Vermont team. It's still 1-0 Chaos. I always go off. Chaos gets back set in their zone defense. 2-2 zone. Merwick at the top of the key. Oh, Tyler Backman gets around the defenders, goes to the middle-sized hoop, and dunks it home for an uncontested goal. Cole Collins here on the near side, looks for an opening, just tosses it back into the center. Murrowick gets around, gets it over. That's a nice wrap by Beckman. Beckman cleans things up in the center, and everyone is on the ground, but that is cleaned up by the Vermont team. That's a good defensive stop there. Yeah. Alexander Wicken in it, beater for Vermont now with the dodgeball coming up in front of Mason DeBuff, along with Claire Chelke as the second beater. Chaos maintains control still, have their beaters spread out on both wings, keeping control of their 2-2 zone. They go over the top, and there's a stoppage. The throw was after the beat, so it's a turnover this time to Chaos from Vermont. Quick calls on the dodgeball playing after the beat, really key in this game. So that's good calls by the referees. Nice, tight, controlled game. Very experienced crew we've got out here today. Alex Amadal, head referee, Christian Barnes, amongst the most experienced referees in the entire game on the field. Lindsey Smyers throws into the back corner, gets back to Merriwick at the top. It bounces off the beater in the front, and then Tyler Beckman is able to clean it up. It's a nice, slow, methodical pace here from Vermont. So the game is tied 1-1 after that dunk a few moments ago from Tyler Beckman. Mason DeBuff over the top, back to Ethan Dillon in the back corner. Paul Ruffalo now. Nope, that's Ian Skura at the top. Ian Skura got it to Manhart. Ian Skura takes a shot on the short hoop. That's an Ian Skura special, and it goes in. Sorry, I didn't even say I'm 15 units. That gives Vermont the lead 2-1. Chaos has maintained dodgeball control throughout, but even with it, Vermont in the last couple possessions has been able to do what they want to do. Here, Amanda Margulies has control of the quad ball, is trying to make things happen, looking for an opening, trying to go around Mason DeBuff, able to get the pass off, but it's intercepted. Going back the other way quickly is Ethan Dillon. Ethan Dillon passes it over the top, gets it into Ian Skura, and that is a give and go that is not stoppable in that much speed from this Vermont team. And suddenly it's 3-1 Vermont on top. Aaron Grant in the game for the first time here now at keeper in the center of the field, passing around. It's back behind, and then it's back into the hands of Grant and immediately goes through. Grant making an immediate impact at keeper for this Chaos team. Gets them back within one. But dodgeball control has, for possibly the first time in this game, gone over to the Vermont side. Ian Skura in control of the quad ball now. Gets it here to the near side to Emma Poland. Caroline Merkel clears some people out in the center. They drop everybody back in defense because Chaos is able to come away with the quad ball as the possession is a lost one for Vermont.
Why not?
Aaron Grant looks for an opening. Goes into the backside corner here. Little give and go is up and back. And then we're going back the other direction now. In it keeper for this Vermont team is Paul Ruffalo. Gets it back to Ian Skura, and that's another goal for Skura. And it's 4-2. Vermont up top. Ever since they got dodgeball control, this Vermont team has been able to hold on to it. I think this is a time that Chaos might want to make a move to try to make an impact on that. They were able to maintain dodgeball control the entire time they had it. Swathi Manam now back in the game, trying to make something happen. Gets it Aaron Grant, makes a shot on the top hoop. It goes too far, but they're able to clean it up behind the hoops. The pass over to the far side is too much and goes out of bounds, and that's a turnover back to Vermont. Emma Pollen here on the far near side is able to take that possession back for Vermont. Pollen and Skura coming up together, ready to use their beater, but that dodgeball move was made and Chaos was able to take dodgeball control back. Ian Skura looks for an opening, moves it around, gets it back to Pollen at the top. Pollen is beat on the feet, but Skura is able to grab that quad ball, make a block, is hit, but it gets the quad ball off, but it was after the beat, and it's picked up in the air. It's a fast break going the other way, long beat miss, and George Blackwell with a great play there, off the beat, picks it up off the ground, takes it, avoids the long beat attempt, and takes it home on the hoop. Let's switch up that. You can go bottles the pitch which was
Okay, sounds good. Enjoy. Can you take a little bit?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here in the center, Chaos. You're trying to use that dodgeball control to their advantage, but has not been able to. But is the pass was a little bit over the top. Does wind up in Skura's hand though. The dodgeballs may have all missed, but I think that's what this conversation is going to be about. Did all of those dodgeballs miss Ian Skura back behind those hoops? And did the pass get off in time in order to get to Skura? As we talked about early in the game, did all of the passes get out? And that was a decision. So that is yet another goal for Skura, which should make it 5-3. Yeah, 50-30 now. Vermont ahead. Grant Himmelman here on the near side gets it to Blackwell in the center. Off to the far wing, and then back up top. Vermont sets up a trees zone. And on the far side, the Vermont team is able to knock the quad ball loose, and it's on the ground. There's a bit of a pile up for it over there. Swathi Manam on the ground, trying to come up with it, along with several of the Vermont players. I couldn't tell how many of those Vermont players were over there and who they were because there were a bunch of people screening me out. But once we see what these referees decide, we'll let you know. All right, so that is a yellow card on Paul Ruffalo from Vermont for a wrap on a player without a ball. And that does put the quad ball into the hands of Swathi Manam over there on the far side of the field. There are a couple of the Vermont players. It's both Emma Pollan and Ian Skura nearby, so she just uses the reset, and it's into the hands of Himmelman, and Himmelman puts it home. That releases Ruffalo from the box, but it does make it 50-40. There's a line change for the Vermont side. And there's dodgeballs rolling around on the ground out there. And Vermont is able to take possession back, but there is a move being made as number 28 for Chaos is able to create a bit of chaos out there while they're driving for the hoops and able to knock it home. That looks like Julian Sauerkraut. And then Vermont going the other way tries a shot on that top hoop. It goes over the top of it. That's Stephen Trimple, who is taken down possibly high behind the hoops. So that is a yellow card on Faircroft for contact from behind. And that does get the possession back into the hands of the Vermont team. Way behind the Vermont hoops. Into the hands of Ethan Dillon, who's making a move. There's a bit of an exchange in the dodgeball game, and it's able to be cleaned up by the Chaos side. There's a block. Oh, no. Well, I guess it must have hit him on the hands. Himmelman attempted to block it. It gets into the hands of Trimple instead, and Trimple has an easy, uncontested knock through. Himmelman believes that that was a block, but the referees believe it was not. And the referees' opinions count. Therkoff here on this side gets it back to Himmelman in the center. Himmelman goes around one, goes around two, and into that top hoop. Himmelman might have a head of steam now, but is using it to good effect. And now there's a stoppage as there's a bit of a big exchange in the dodgeball game, and there's an exchange in the headband game going on as the headband had switched over from the chaser side to the beater side. Those reversible ones are always a problem, it seems like. Hopefully that's a short stoppage and we'll just be able to start right back up here. And Chaos is able to gain dodgeball control out of that little situation. Ethan Dillon to Jordan Smiley here on the near side of the field. Jordan Smiley looks for an opening. Everyone using Abraham Benningson's screening here. And they toss far into the back corner, and it goes out of bounds. Grant back in at keeper for Chaos. Gets it to Thercroft. And there is an exchange, and Vermont is able to stop the possession again and goes back the other way, but it's taken down hard. Quadball comes out, rolls along the ground, and Chaos cleans it up. We're going back the other direction quick, and there was, yep, that was good. The beat came in late, and so Thierkoff again making things happen here. I'm now joined by the one, the only Craig Garrison.
Uh, thank you for the honors. Good morning, Quadball Nation. Um, just got here. Really a pleasure to be here on day 2 at Quadball Nationals. I'm going to be helping Clay out here with some commentary. Really clean passing here. Yeah, way to get it out of the keeper zone. But a fantastic block there, even though it was a beautiful offensive play here from Vermont United. And then we have a ref stoppage.
All right, so yeah, so that was bounced around. Ethan Dillon's shot was bounced, eventually wound up in the hands of Aaron Grant. Yeah. So out of those exchanges that had happened in the last couple minutes, we went from what had been a game that was dominated by, it was dominated for a few minutes by Vermont in kind of the beginning of the game was very, very even. And then
Okay.
we had several minutes of domination of exchanges between Beckman and Skura and Emma Pollan and Skura, going a lot of things happening, and I think three or so goals by Skura in a row, and Vermont got up by 2 or 3,
Okay.
and then suddenly it's now 7-6, Chaos in the lead, with Himmelman and Thierkoff doing most of that work. Along with there was a pretty long period of time early in the game where the Chaos team just maintained complete control of the dodgeballs. And then during that period in the middle there, it didn't matter. It didn't matter while Skura was doing Skura's thing. The mid-grade shot and just juking out and then hitting the short hoop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen Skura really excel in the era of zone defenses.
Yeah.
He has the speed to get around the point defender, and then the skill set to do lofty shots to the top hoop or a quick shot to the medium hoop that can go over defenders or around defenders.
Yeah.
Very unique skill set to break even dodgeball control.
Vermont, number 74, illegal contact below the knees.
All right, that's going to be a
Yellow card, 1 minute or
for
until Chaos
Abraham
scores.
Bennington. It was contact below the knee, so 1 minute in the box. So a little bit of a power play here for Chaos QC.
And just to finish up what we were saying there, but then it was basically drives and speed out of Himmelman and Thierkoff in particular, that really just put the control back in the hands of Chaos, along with the dodgeball control, that entire time being in the hands of Chaos.
Complete control here right now for Chaos. It's their game to lose. Only up 10 buckets. Great defense here and a great dive from Chaos QC. They were really trying to get a bucket here. It's a one dodgeball situation, and immediately beat out by the beater here for Vermont United.
Vermont United is able to stop that one that time, and but they were not able to get, even though dodgeballs went everywhere. It's an interesting thing, right? Where sometimes when you see teams maintain control consistently, it's because they hold them back. They don't do much with them.
Right.
They've been using them.
Right.
And they've been using them effectively.
Yeah, it's much easier if you're just holding on to it, but you're not creating holes for your offense. We just had an errant pass here from Vermont QC, which is going to end up with a reset.
But Smiley is able to save the quad ball for them.
Yep. Long pass all the way behind the hoops here. Oh, we have a knocked over hoop by Skura. Might be.
That was very possibly headed right for that hoop.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just going to be a card for the knocking over a hoop. It was interesting. This is
it is. Oops.
This is the tall chaser for Chaos. Did a quick turn, was only about a 1 foot away from the hoop, so maybe a possibility about knocking
22,
it over.
Illegal dislodge of the hoop. Or reckless dislodge, blue card.
Thirkoff. Yeah, Thirkoff made the right defensive play, right?
Okay.
quick pivot feet trying to intercept the pass, but
The
takes
ball.
the hoop down with it. And we have rules. You can't have somebody knocking over hoops because it makes it really hard for the offense to score on just 2 hoops. So they're going to serve 1 minute in the
Yeah.
box.
And the fact that that was the shot from Beckman made me think that reminded me that I should have shouted out Beckman earlier because Beckman was part of that that uh, consistent number of goals earlier from this Vermont team, and is one of the strong players from the squad that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, were all of his scores 70 feet away from the hoops?
No, they were more like 73 inches away from the hoops.
All right, we have looks like a timeout called.
Yeah, we had a timeout here. Everybody wants to settle themselves down after these last couple of minutes of very exciting quad ball. Having conversations about whether or not those were the right calls in that situation,
Yeah.
because that's a hard thing, right? Because it did look like that was very close to going through there, and if it turns out to just be a blue card, that's sad for you in that situation. But it was definitely not intentional dislodging of it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it begs the question: do you take the blue card for a stopped goal, right?
yeah,
Potentially, like,
yeah.
I mean,
Well, if you do it intentionally, then it's a red card.
well, yeah, not saying anything about Thurkoff's motives there, but it seemed pretty unintentional to me as
Yeah,
well. Just to confirm that.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
All right, so we're having some convos over there, and it would be nice to know the time of the game. Um,
mhm.
I
Um, yeah, we're a little blind. We're flying blind up here.
yeah.
We are so close to the pitch. It's really it's a pleasure to be this close. A lot of times commentating, you are off in the distance somewhere, but we are about 10 feet away from the pitch line here in Richmond, Virginia. And just let everybody know at home, it's much colder today. We're in our 60s. There's a constant wind. I'm getting a no, maybe colder than that is what Clay's saying.
I'm just not quite in my 60s yet. 59 three quarters.
I
All right,
mean,
here we go. We're about to start.
yeah. But it's a beautiful day here in Richmond, Virginia for quad ball. Yeah, the score is 70-60 right now. Chaos's way. Uh, and we're gonna start off with Chaos maintaining the ball, even though there was a card, it was just a blue, so there was no quad ball turnover. Um, with Chaos bringing the ball up, down one quad ball player. Good zone, 2-2 zone here from Vermont. I've seen the communication from Vermont on defense. Actually, they're all doing calls, so they know exactly where they're going. Good pickup here at the point. Passes dropped immediately, picked up, and a great tackle here from number 8, Dubois. Uh, sorry, having a little technical difficulties here. Strong win. We have a scrum here in the keeper zone, and it's going to be recovered by Vermont United.
All right, and we're headed back the other direction now. We have a lot of wind hitting us really hard all of a sudden here.
We're battening down the hatches right now.
uh, we have Mason DeBuff back in the game with the quad ball here on the near side. Gets it to Beckman in the center.
All right, fantastic drive here from Beckman. It went right over the top of the medium hoop. It was some good contact on defense to force his body to not be accurate. It's still 70-60. We've had a couple back and forth exchanges here. I see exactly what you mean where, it was two different momentum changes, and now both teams after the timeouts, I think, have found their equilibrium.
Yes.
So they're both equally matched at this moment in the game.
Yes, very much the case. And they've really settled in. They're playing good defense now, and Vermont has been able to get dodgeball control back and then lose dodgeball control almost immediately. And that bounces off the crossbar and in on the shot to give Chaos an 8-6 lead.
Fantastic shot there. Even with the win, we have a strong drive now from Dubois. Drive,
And
Vermont driving, and forces it through.
this time, Beckman decides I'm not even going to give it a a 76 inches. I'm going to give it a 76 millimeters. And we are going to take a moment here as we make sure everyone's all right on the field. And
It's a little bit of a beater tussle over right close to us. Really great athletic plays from both players, and just number 52 here took a tumble. Um, this is uh,
okay.
Tenagay. Will be subbing out, but I heard him say that they're okay, so it's all good. Refs are deciding if there was a call on the play right now. If you're up.
Yeah. And so we have Grant Himmelman right here in front of us. Tanagai is headed out for a moment just to get a sub back in. And that goal from Beckman does make it 8-7 as we are really close to the 20-minute mark in this game. So Vermont has the quad ball again over here.
After review, delayed penalty.
Oh,
Vermont, number 8,
they're going to
reckless
lose it.
tackle. Yellow card. 1 minute or until chaos scores.
So this is one of the newer rules last couple years in quad ball is needlessly reckless tackles, right? There's an appropriate amount of force to bring somebody to the ground, and if it's judged that you're going over that amount, then you can get a card. And so that's going to be number 8, Duboff. Is that Mason Duboff? Duboff. I apologize there. Yeah, Mason Duboff. So he's going to be out for about 1 minute. And we have chaos with the ball, setting up their offense. Really high pressure here from 98 from Vermont. I'm not sure the ball handler sees them. Yes, they do. Good pass here to keep it from resetting.
Yeah.
And then a pass over here. 98 is killing it. This is Wiseheart, Fiona.
Yeah.
Fiona causing chaos, but we broke free here. And Chaos is able to get a score against the whole defense. Kind of overcommitted there on the press. I thought it was beautiful, but they broke through.
Yep, and that's Faircroft again getting around everyone. I definitely thought when Weishart made that beat on the far side and there was nobody near that Vermont was going to be able to clean it up.
I thought it was a dead play as well.
But no, the speed from Faircroft was able to get in there and make that a goal for them. And now we're about to be at the 20-minute mark. So this is a key possession for this Vermont team.
Yeah.
And right now, Chaos has both dodgeballs, and they have basically what they want: the lead, both dodgeballs, and now a lost possession from Vermont as well. So a 90-70 lead for this Chaos team, and dodgeball control as well.
Yeah, that's really ideal for Chaos. They had a last minute momentum burst. There's some the Chaos thrived in the chaos right at the end of the game. Yeah, so with dodgeball control and then the set score being 150 after you had the 60 to their 90, they're poised to really take control of this game during the flag runner on pitch. I'm not sure the talent here on Seeker for them. Are you familiar with the Chaos Seeker at all?
I am not, although it seems as though they are, a lot of the classic Midwest type of players. So they
tall and lanky, huh?
Yeah, so they have, depending on who the flag runner is, the type of flag runner we wind up having in this game, they could have an advantage. Although Tyler Beckman is a well-known, really experienced seeker. Stephen Tremmel is a really experienced seeker. Ian Skura has made some good catches. So there's a lot of really experienced seekers on both sides. So there's definitely I don't know that in that side of the game either team has a decided advantage.
Okay.
Because I think that Himmelman, Grant, definitely a few of the players on both teams have made catches that I've seen in key crucial situations.
So the question is when you have like these really fantastic utility athletes, and on both sides that could possibly seek for you, and so that's 35 points. Do you put them in the game as seeker, or do you leave them on the pitch to score up points? Both teams do have enough depth where I think you're not going to be absolutely,
Yeah.
too weak on offense. So maybe you could do a little bit of both. Definitely, I've seen where one player's on the pitch, they play 3 possessions,
Uh-huh.
and then the seeker went in, and they've had 3 attempts, and then they do a little switcheroo, right, where they sub in for each other.
So it depends on the type of player too, right? So if
Right.
a player like Ian Skura, who well, and Zach Armin Trading is the flag runner. So that also means that if I am Vermont, I am putting Skura in the quad ball game
Right.
because that means that I'm at a disadvantage in the flag runner game
Right.
because of size, and I'm at an advantage in the quad ball game because of speed and the dodgeballs theoretically going into the other game.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the type of thing that you're thinking here. So I think that they're putting Trimmel in at
And Trimble, I think, is actually a good call. He's a little bit lower stature, lower center of gravity. Against these taller flag runners,
uh,
you can sometimes get beneath them.
yeah,
Right.
and is also on the strong uh seeker side, right?
Right.
The wrestle version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We always say there's the wrestle version, and then there's the cardio version
Yes.
of Seekers, and this is more on the wrestling version.
And
I'm really excited to watch the matchup here. And on the chaos side, who is our Seeker?
can't see the number yet.
I'm missing numbers too, so we'll call it out once we're there. We're going to turn our attention over to gameplay, though. Our gameplay here is Chaos has the ball, bringing it up. Vermont is having time to set up the defense, but they are now focusing their dodgeballs on the flag runner play. All right, this is a really big drive here from Thaircroft. Good jukes. Vermont swarming. Great pass behind the hoops.
Goes up and is high, and it winds up in the hands of a Chaos player in the center.
It's Thaircroft.
Oh, now there's another knockdown of the hoops, but it still goes through in the middle size hoop.
And then just to call it out, this is Neil Peterson for Chaos seeking here. A very tall player who's now playing defensive seeker while Vermont brings the ball up. Vermont does have the dodgeball control, so able to come into this space and secure and defend the flag runner. We have a drive here from Skura.
A nice catch from Caroline Merkel on the dodgeball to be able to maintain control for them. And it's 100-70 now. Trimple has a second with the flag runner, but is not able to do anything. Going back the other direction with the quad ball. It's a drive in, and
Player number 0, that's Aaron Grant with the bucket. It was a real unfortunate play for Vermont. We kind of missed that offensive possession as Skuro was getting really into the keeper zone, draws the whole defense, passes it off to one of his chasers, and the chaser immediately drops it and turns it into a fast break. Potential catch here for Peterson from Chaos.
And this would be a big lead and really close to putting this game away for Chaos if this catch is good. Because right now they already have 11-7, and this catch would make it 145-70. And 150 was the set score.
Right. Yeah, this is not what Vermont United wanted.
Catch is good.
Catch is good.
Good.
It'll be
Catch is-
145, so that's 2 scores away from game point. 1 square away. Thank you so much.
All right. So Skura here with the quad ball has to make this because they're already down 7. And they're going to have to do a lot.
Yeah, it's a whole different game plan now that you're this far behind and they're 1 square away. Every offense matters, every defense matters. So the utmost pressure. So Skura just threw it away. Defense is not set. This is actually an absolute worst situation.
Yeah.
Now we have Thurcroft driving.
And
Nobody stopping Thurcroft. Great jukes. Yep, we have 3 defenders on Thurcroft. Good pass behind the hoops.
Swathi Madam, back to Thurkoff.
All right, now Chaos is going to slow it down just a little bit. They do know that they have so many possessions above Vermont to try to score. Like, so if they don't get this one, they can try again. Good pass behind the hoops.
And that's it. The coach, Swathi Madam, with the game-winning goal.
That was a beautiful shot. It was kind of to the side, shot. It was almost like a little pickleball hit. It was a beautiful shot to end the game for Chaos.
Amazing right there. Way to put it away from your head coach.
Yeah, yeah. The coach just, hey, put me in, coach. Oh, that's me. That was a beautiful play. Chaos just went ahead with the flag runner grab. It just made it real impossible for Vermont to even have a chance. Clay, thank you for bringing me in for this game.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's been a joy. And Quadball Nation, we'll be right back after a quick break. Stay classy.
Right, and that does mean that Quadball Club moves on in the club competitive bracket, and we will see you back here for the next game um, on this field, which will be the Illini Ridgebacks versus Mizzou.
Sounds like a beautiful game to watch. I'll see y'all there.